Link, after collecting the 3 pendants, can finally pull the Master Sword from its pedestal. But he's not the only one waving his sword around, if you know what I mean. Ah, for fuck's sake. No, that's not it. I don't even remember this show. No, that's... sod it. Hello, Internet! And welcome to Cake Theory, the only show where you can start talking in a suspicious British accent and hope that no one notices. So Zelda Wii U. We've been waiting a while, haven't we? In fact, we've been waiting so long they decided to remake the entirety of Twilight Princess first. I'd get angry if it wasn't for the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 still doesn't exist. Remember when games actually got released on deadline? I'm looking at you, Star Fox Zero, Mighty No. 9 and Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. I'm just waiting for the day a game actually gets pushed forward for once. Sorry. I think Five Nights at Freddy's is giving me withdrawal symptoms. The big selling point of Zelda Wii U, or Zelda as I've affectionately called it, is the concept of a fully connected overworld that players can approach in whatever way they choose. Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? Hashtag original, hashtag sarcasm. It's a cool idea, but what you have to remember is that the old media isn't perfect. I mean, seriously, I could have passed grade 3 flute in the time it takes me to open level 7. How about I cry in this corner for 5 hours, maybe then I'll find the magic boomerang. But thankfully what came after that fixed everything. No, not you. Link to the Past went back and expanded everything from the first game. More items, more secrets, and, most importantly, more girls. Me and the old man got kind of a sausage fest going on over here. The whole plot of Link to the Past is a wizard called Ganon is trying to bring back Ganon by sending the descendants of the 7 sages who sealed Ganon away into the Dark World. After sending the 7 maidens, one of which being Princess Zelda, Link is transported to the Dark World and it's his job to rescue the maidens in order to face Ganon. So that's it, the plot's airtight, there's nothing to be analysed, right? Wrong! After you rescue Princess Zelda at the start of the game and take her through the sewers to hide from Ganon in the Sanctuary, you meet up with the loyal sage who tells you that darkness will come and you need the Master Sword, so the person who can tell you where the Master Sword is the elder of Kakariko Village named Sahasula? Sorry, Sweden. He tells you to meet up with the village elder, but what makes it weird is that it is said that the village elder is a descendant of one of the 7 wise men. Well, excuse me, loyal sage, but how is that possible? If the village elder is a far-off offspring of the legendary sage, then how can Ganon open the Dark World without disposing of him with the maidens? So what's the bigger picture here? Before Link enters the Tower of Hera to collect the final pendant, he finds a portal leading him to the Dark World, not to mention that Link was just given a mirror item letting him pass from the light to Dark World at any time he wants. And this is before the final maiden Princess Zelda is caught, so light to Dark World travel is as easy as your morning commute. Assuming you don't live in LA. But most importantly, this proves that the barrier between the light and dark worlds isn't there. The Maiden of the Ice Temple even states, "The blood of the Hylia has become thin over time. We who carry the blood of the 7 wise men do not possess strong powers anymore." The seal to the Dark World was there, but through the generations it eventually disappeared. So surely Ganom's quest is pointless. In fact, Ganon knows it's pointless. During the final fight with Ganon, it is revealed that he was Ganon the entire time. Ganon even states Ganon to be his alter ego, being the same person but giving off different personalities. So Ganon had full access to the light world from the start of the game but strategically chose to do nothing about it. So if the entire goal of the game's villain has already been achieved before we have a chance to stop it, then how did the sage descendants fit into this? Ganon doesn't need to kidnap them, and if he's doing this out of a personal interest, he doesn't need to kidnap all of them. So what is Ganom's, or should I say Ganon's, real goal here? Well, let's take a look at all 8 confirmed sage descendants. If the village elder is the only one not wanted by Ganon, then what did the other 7 have in common that the old man doesn't actually? This is a fairly obvious question, isn't it? They are all women. Young women at that. But Fat Pat, what does Ganon want with women? This isn't a Zelda fanfiction. Oh ho, my loyal but lower than average IQ fanbase. You'd think I'd come here without some solid evidence? Some solid theoretical evidence? First off, let's see what we know about Ganon. Link to the Past just knows him as a thief, but in future games, specifically Ocarina of Time, we know Ganon to be a Gerudo. In Ocarina of Time, it is stated that a male is only born to the Gerudo race every 100 years, so it's assumed that the job of the male is to breed with the countless females in order to keep the race from going extinct. It's worth keeping in mind that Ocarina of Time actually takes place 1 game before Link to the Past in the official timeline, and it takes place on the timeline where Ganon won the final battle against Link. After defeating Link, Ganon resides in in the Sacred Realm which Link had given him access to after pulling out the Master Sword in Ocarina of Time. It's revealed in Link to the Past that the Dark World was formed from the Sacred Realm when Ganon touched the Triforce of Power and reflected what was in his heart into the world. It was there that Ganon waited, building up his army to take control of the Light World again. The events that followed were known as the Sealing War, which ended with the King of Hyrule asking the 7 wise men to seal the way between the Light and Dark Worlds. This left Ganon stuck in the Dark World until he broke out generations later, starting the events of Link to the Past. And this is where the Gerudo race comes back into this. With no man in the house and another man not able to be born because the 100-year clock hadn't finished yet, the Gerudo race all died. By the time Ganon gets out of the Dark World, the Gerudo race is extinct. But even though Ganon's people are gone, he still has the natural urge to breed. It's what he was made to know for the good of his species. Without his own women to breed with, Ganon finds the 7 sages' children, 7 young girls who possess magical powers just like he does, albeit much lesser due to the weakening of magic in the bloodline. Ganon takes the girls to his world so he in essence can fulfill his natural duty. But seriously dude, 7 girls! Most video game villains would be fine with just 1, but 7! Cosmopolitan magazine has less fetishes than you do. And this would actually make sense culturally. I think I'll cover this part. Hey everyone, Shy Gaijin here. If you're wondering what I did with my voice, I sorted some things out. Now there are a lot of cultural references surrounding Ganon, specifically the Phantom Beast Ganon created to represent a wild boar. In the Oriental Zodiac, a boar is the last animal in the cycle and those born under the boar are said to be determined and impetuous, just like how Ganon always comes back and holds the Triforce of Power. Greek myths show a boar as being a sign of darkness and death, shown by pretty much anything Ganondorf touches turning an ominous shade of black. Several European cultures see killing a boar as a mark of strength and valor. Link in the original game is a crucifix show marking that of the European Christian Crusaders, and fighting Ganon as the final boss marks your strength and valor. So yeah, Ganon has a lot of cultural references, but it's in Japan where the culture really shines through. Boars are seen as fearsome and reckless animals, again much like Ganon, but relating to the theory, boars are also seen as symbols of fertility. It's believed that boars are drawn to fields owned by families that have a pregnant woman in them. It's also believed that hunters with pregnant wives will have better luck when boar hunting. So Ganon being the center of a repopulation crisis doesn't seem so far-fetched considering the cultural minds of the people who made it. Thanks, Shy Gaijin. But after Link to the Past, this isn't the only time Ganondorf has shown interest in young girls. Just like his Super Nintendo outing, Wind Waker takes place one game after Ocarina of Time, but this time it takes place on the timeline where Link is the victor. Again, Ganon gets sealed away, and when he somehow comes back, we can assume the Gerudo race are dead and Ganon would have the same motives as he does in Link to the Past. No trace of the Gerudo race appear in Wind Waker's Great Sea, and with Hyrule being flooded, it's safe to assume Ganon is the only one left. Ganon's supposed motives in this game are to steal young girls with pointy ears using the Helm of Rock King in the hopes that one of them is Princess Zelda, holder of the Triforce of Wisdom. In other games, pointy ears might mean a Hylian with magic, but in this game, every character has pointy ears, so Ganon is literally asking for all the young girls in the land to be brought to him. And don't tell me this is a limitation of the GameCube, the concept art is right here. It's revealed that Zelda was actually your pirate friend Tetra who holds a piece of the Triforce of Wisdom on her person. Ganon finds out that Tetra was Zelda when his own Triforce of Power starts to resonate, but the thing is, Ganon had already captured 3 other girls before finding Zelda. If he knows that the glowing Triforce is the clue to finding the princess, then surely he tested this on the previous prisoners and realized they weren't Zelda. So why are they still here? Surely Ganon would have them executed, it's not like it's out of character. But just like the maidens from Link to the Past, they are all young girls. But promise me you won't think too hard about the age of consent. Japan has some different rules to the rest of the world. I seem to be out of evidence. How long does a usual episode of Game Theory last? Oh, you can fuck right off. How the hell am I supposed to pad out that amount of time promoting film theory? So here we have 2 cases of Ganondorf kidnapping multiple young girls for what seems to be no good reason, and this is just taking examples directly after Ocarina of Time. What about capturing Zelda in the first game even though she expels the Triforce of Wisdom into 8 pieces? The Oracle game see the servants of Ganon Twin Rover take prisoner the aforementioned oracles who again are young girls. 4 Swords Adventure see maidens being captured again, and trust me, I would go more in depth into this, but between college, job, fat-arsing and Twilight Princess HD releasing in like 6 hours, I would do it. In fact, the only time Ganon is involved in a kidnapping story that doesn't capture only girls is Link Between Worlds. But hey, it's 2016, we gotta create equal opportunities, I guess. And Ganon's antics can all be attributed back to the extinction of his species. With no women of his own to be with because the only male was trapped in the Dark World, Ganon abused his power to take whatever young girls he could and restart the Gerudo race, all for the sake of his own cultural upbringing. But hey, that's just a theory. A cake theory. Thanks for watching. Hang on, so if Ganon really wanted to have sex with people, then what did he do when he was trapped in the Dark World? Oh god, is that why the moblins look like that? Okay, but all joking aside, thanks for watching all the way through. This was an experience. God, I swear, if I ever do more YouTube parodies, my next one is 0 punctuation. At least he didn't change his intro when the new year started. I am very salty right now. Here are the links to the Game Theorists channel and also Gaijin Goomba since I poked a bit of fun at him as well. You can also check out my own videos. I'm not a professional circle jerk, this was just a side project. Anyone who does know me knows me for my comedy, film and game reviews. I'm not one to say goodbye, but I do swear a lot, so you can all fuck off.